everybody. Welcome to another episode of Story Time. Hey, today I want to talk about control. Now, being a person with a terminal illness, I have had countless stories worth in my life of times when control wasn't an option, so it's difficult for me to choose just one time, but maybe I'll share a couple. When I was born, I didn't have any say in the matter, just like you. I was forced into the world. As I grew up, I learned very quickly that this disease required me to be in control of every segment of my life. Meal planning, med planning, treatment planning, time between meals, time between meds. There's endless things that I had to have a very strict control over. But somewhat ironically, though the disease required me to control my life very tightly, it also required me to let go of all control. It's interesting how sometimes we live in these paradoxical tensions in life. So I'll tell you a quick story. When I was 18, I was doing a kayaking certification. I was out in the wintertime in the ocean, and we were getting in and out of our kayaks in the cold water. And that cold water sparked something in my lung. And when I got home, I had a severe splitting pain, like a knife going into my lung and twisting around. And what that cold water did was actually reveal an issue that I had that I didn't know about. And long story short, I ended up having a severe pneumonia caused by a bunch of different types of infections and funguses that were in my lung. And very soon I lost my ability to talk or stand up because the pain was so intense. And I learned soon after that I was expected to die because the severity of the infection was essentially medically unstoppable. We were just waiting and going to see what happened. Now, I mentioned that I was on a kayaking certification. I've always been diligent to keep my body healthy, to keep it physically engaged, working out, exercising, going on outdoor adventures, because I love it, but also because it's good for my body. And so I had been doing that for years, working up my health, building it up slowly, and in a moment it all left. I lost everything that I'd gained. I had absolutely zero control over that. I couldn't have prevented the infection, and I couldn't stop it. Now, by some miraculous circumstances, I ended up recovering, surviving, and gaining almost 100% of what I had lost back, but that's a story for another time. But right now I want to talk about sort of the nature of the journey of illness and control that seems to be a theme in my life. The more I would work to be healthy, something would come that I couldn't stop, that I had no control over, and take that health away. And I had to learn this tension, that although there seems to be this inherent desire for us as people, not just people with terminal illness, but just people in general, to control their lives, control their circumstances, I want to talk about the freedom that's available when you let go of that control. Now, I'd like to be clear that I'm not talking about letting go of management of your life. Of course, we want to be wise. We want to make good choices with food and health and all that, but control is a different thing. Interestingly, when people try to control other people, we know that as one of the most oppressive forces on the planet in all of human history. But when we control ourselves, when we control things in our life, we feel security. So it's interesting that there's that tension of we hate control in any other context except for when it's what we want. Well, I'd like to suggest that maybe it's actually not so good to try to control every nuance in our life. I'd actually like to suggest that just embracing the journey for what it is and picking out the moments that are good and that you're grateful for is actually more healthy. Again, I'm not talking about letting go of management of your emotions or your behaviors, to a degree. Of course, have permission to feel what you feel, but don't go and kill someone or beat someone up or something like that. But this is conversations more in the context of control and health. And I actually wanted to free you and say that you have a lot less control than you think, and that's okay, because you don't need to control what happens. Life is a journey, it's a ride. Just like Alan Watts says, it's a dance. And what I heard somebody say, one of the most beautiful things the other day, she's a super amazing champion who's got some pretty epic health circumstances in her life, and she said, when you stumble, just make it part of the dance. That's beautiful. That's relinquishing control and embracing the process. And I just want to encourage you that that's actually a really healthy and life-filled way to live. So, short episode, guys, but I just wanted to say it's okay to let go and control. You have permission. And it's one of the scariest things that you can do, but I want to encourage you to try. Embrace the process. Embrace the pain, embrace the joy. Feel, but don't stay in the pain. Move forward. The very nature of control is to restrain something, to fit in the parameters that you think it should be in. But sometimes I almost wonder if we don't know what the parameters really should be, and that when we actually let go, we discover a whole world that we couldn't see before, and the parameters naturally fall into place instead of being forced into place. So, hey, that's it. I'm rambling on a little bit now, but bless you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and be free. Catch you next time. The Zero to Hero Club is dedicated to inspire and change the lives of those dealing with hard circumstances. We aspire to see you live vibrantly and become the true hero you really are, so you can be that, overcome, and change the world. Come join the club at thezerotoheroclub.com. Let's write history.